Hi everyone, it's Jan and I am here to share with you my postcard that I created for the vintage cookbook postcard swap over on Your Paper Pantry in the group Collage Melange. Deb and Yolie were our hostesses and this has been just so much fun. The theme was vintage no, it was postcard, but it was a vintage cookbook theme, and the end result was to end up looking like a postcard. So mixed media, and so I had fun. This is so dimensional. I'm not sure that I would actually send it through the mail, but wanted to show you a few things that I did. To begin with, I did a collage in the background of my postcard, and to do that I scanned several copies of some old cookbooks that I have and resized them to appropriate sizes. That was fun, just going through those and picking them out. There's one in here that I hope I have. I want to show you. Oh, I don't have a copy of it. I must have used all of them. But the oh no, it is. It's this one right here. It says Adventures Among the Kitchen People. How fun. How fun is that? Then I copied a few recipes off an index page. This was actually a little flyer pamphlet kind of thing, and I did that and cut it out and used those along with some tissue paper that I had used. I had put some stamps on, and these are not just your ordinary stamps. A few years ago, my sweet honey and I were at a flea market, and he knows that I like the odd and the unusual to use in my artwork, and he came back and had found a collection of these stamps that had been used in a small little meat market up in Kentucky. Actually, there's some information, and these are the kind that they would put the meat in the package and then stamp it and fill in the pounds and the ounces for the net weight. And he got me so many of them. This was smoked pork sausage, and this is country sausage. But I have quite the collection of these ladies, and honestly, this may be the first project that I've ever legitimately had a reason to use them, but of course it wasn't the first time I've used them. So anyway, I stamped them on some of my tissue paper and then used that to create my collage. And then this little image right here, oh my stars, I have just kind of fallen in love with these little dresses that are created out of vegetables. I just think they're so unique and cool. And this one is a tomato with some leaf lettuce, and it's on its own little hanger. And I used my Copic markers to color this in, and then I distressed the background and did just a little shadow stamping of some script just to give it a little texture. One of the things that I am doing right now, you know, I'm sure I'll go through a different phase, but I like the edge of my image to have just a little bit of definition. And so when the image is done, I take a Sharpie or some very dark color, and I turn the image on its side and just run the marker along the edge to give it a little more definition. So when all of my collaging was done, and I'm sorry, I didn't keep one that I didn't finish, but when all of that was done, I took a toothbrush and spritzed some paint over the top of it to age it a little bit. This right down here is a piece of a dishcloth that was made from a flour sack, and I did a little stamping on it in a vintage motif just to kind of add to the multi-textural feel of this. These little utensils, I wanted them to look old. I found them at Joann's. They came in a set of 3. There was a spatula, this, and this little dipper, and they were all stainless, not stainless, they were probably aluminum, I don't know. They were bright, shiny silver. Knew they wouldn't work on here. And so to distress them appropriately for this, I spray painted them with gold. Okay, even you looking at this know that I didn't spray paint them with gold. I spray painted them with copper. And then I took some embossing powder in the verdigris, which is an aged copper. It has that patina that copper turns green and has that really lovely aged look. And to do that, I took my distressed reinker, put it on a makeup sponge, and then I dabbed it all over the surface. And I did this because even the little bottles that have the daubers on the top, you can't get down inside all the nooks and crannies. So that's, I wanted you to see that you really can emboss just about anything as long as you have a little patience. And I'm going to let this heat up. And it's okay if it kind of wears, you don't have it totally, the surface totally covered. We're going to go back on the next round. And you just have to be a little patient when you're embossing on something like metal. It'll take a little longer to heat up, and then it'll move pretty quickly because the metal itself will start heating up from underneath. But I just think it's cool that I could add an embossed aged element like these utensils to it. Okay, I know this is kind of like watching paint dry, so I won't continue with that. But when you're done, you can add some more and just continue with that process till you are finished, and you'll end up with this very fun element right here. Then I crocheted a little natural colored flower, and I had these little buttons that I had gotten, oh, I honestly don't know when, but they were some buttons that I had in my button box, and I had enough of them to put on each one of these little postcards, so that was a fun thing to add. And before I put the back on here, I put an eyelet here and here and threaded some thread up and down over this one, and then up and down on this one, and tied it on here. And that, once I put the back on, that really made this pretty secure. Tied a little gingham ribbon on here, and then this is my postcard on the back. And I had a postcard stamp, and so I used that here, and I used the address area for the information about this particular piece of art. And whenever I do something that is a series of things, I number them. And so it'll be one of, I made 6 of these, 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 3 of 6. And I used a Starburst stain. I thought that kind of looked like a splash of tomato sauce had fallen on there. And then I took just some additional stamps and added some of that in there. And then I added this quote, because I had this fun little dress over here. I used a Henny Youngman quote that said, "My wife dresses to kill. She cooks the same way." So this was really fun, and I hope the girls in my group enjoy them. I'm looking forward to getting theirs, and I'll see you all soon.